Super 17 was the main villain of Dragon Ball GT's third saga, and his power is one of the most poorly representative things I have ever seen, with people going so far as to say that he is only twice as strong as Android 17 from the Android saga because he fuses with another Android 17, and the episode title is called 17 times 2. As I proved to you in my last GT scaling video, even just base Goku at the beginning of GT should far surpass the power of Kid Buu, since he is on par with Oob, who was already Kid Buu level before training for 5 years, and yet Goku would need Super Saiyan 4 to fight Super 17, and still would have to revert to a strategy to win the battle. Super 17 isn't just strong when you use power scaling, but he is strong because he has universal feats. Before I get into this video, I think it's very important to give you a quick history lesson of Super 17, and to prove to you the feasibility of his power and how he can be so incredibly strong. Super 17 isn't just two androids combining, it is Android 17 fusing with Hellfighter 17, who is actually a machine mutant, which is an entirely different classification of creation from Android, albeit pretty similar, but they're still different. So, Super 17 is in turn a machine mutant android hybrid. He is a joint creation from Dr. Gero and Dr. Mew. It is important to note that Dr. Mew is an incredibly accomplished scientist, himself a machine mutant created by Baby to make Baby into the ultimate machine mutant. Baby ended up being incredibly successful, nearly taking over the entire universe, if not for Kibito Kai saving Goku, and then Elder Kai pulling out Goku's tail, which allowed him to go Super Saiyan 4. He would have taken over the entire universe. So Dr. Mew got far further than Gero ever did in his conquest. But let's not knock Gero here. In fact, Mew is actually severely impressed with Gero's work multiple times in this saga. This is because when Dr. Gero and Mew first beat in Hell, it is confirmed that in all of the years that Gero has been dead, and he's been in Hell, he has been continuing his research. And this shows as he's able to combine the three different types of androids into one for Super 17. As Super 17 has the infinite energy of Android 17's original design, as well as the ability to steal ki through his hands, but this has been actually developed even further and even stronger, as Super 17 can actually absorb any ki blast that hits his body. It does not even need to hit his hands. And he has shown similar abilities to Android 16, like removing his hand and launching out attacks from within his forearm. But before I get into displaying the true might of this hybrid creation, I need to debunk some very common claims of why Super 17 is just not that strong. The first is the many translation errors of the dub. For example, they have Vegeta state that Android 17 had not gotten any stronger since the Android saga, which is the literal opposite from the original Japanese, where Vegeta claims that Android 17 has gotten way stronger. Goddamn, the dub of GT is an absolute joke, watch the subs. But people further think that 17s are weak because they only were fighting a base Vegeta and a base Trunks. But people actually fail to realize the true power of these characters. Base Trunks in this saga in GT would one-shot Buhan without any difficulty. Rildo, as I scaled in my previous video, and just his base form is stronger than Buhan. Yet Baby absorbs all the power of Lude, the Sigma Force, and Rildo, and many other people, and yet he cannot take on the power of base Trunks, because he states that Trunks is too strong. So base Trunks is above Baby, who is above Rildo, and since Rildo is already above Buhan in his base form, and then he gets two transformations on top of that to rival Super Saiyan Goku's power, that means that base Trunks is actually well above Super Vegito as well. This is 1 year after the Baby Saga now, so Trunks would be way above Super Vegito, even in just his base form. This proves that Android 17 in Dragon Ball GT is incredibly powerful if he can defeat base Trunks. And the same would be for Vegeta as well, who at the end of Z put his own base power and Goku's base power and Oob's power above Mr. Buu at the tournament. And now this is him 6 to 7 years later of training. Majub was also above Super Saiyan 3 Goku in the Baby Saga, and Vegeta is above Majub in the 17 Saga in just his base, as he puts up a much better fight against 17 than Majub ever did. Meaning at the very least that base Vegeta is above Super Saiyan 3 Goku from the Baby Saga. So this is a much stronger Vegeta from the Android Saga as well, even in his base form, yet he struggles to fight Hellfighter 17. Now it's important to note that Dr. Mew states that Super 17 is the ultimate machine mutant, which would mean he is the greatest and most powerful machine mutant, which would put him squarely above Baby, because Baby was the greatest machine mutant prior to Super 17. This is impressive because Super Saiyan 1 Goku was fighting Super 17 to a standstill until he started absorbing Goku's ki. This means that if Super 17 is above Baby, then that means that Super Saiyan 1 Goku is now at least as strong as his old Super Saiyan 4 form. Remember, it has been a year since the Baby Saga, so it is more than possible that Goku can reach Super Saiyan 4 levels of power in just his Super Saiyan form. Now I know that a lot of people are going to try and debunk Super 17 being stronger than Ozaru Baby, because they'll say, well, Gero or Mew did not know how strong Baby was at his peak. But this is not true. We know that Mew died way before Baby ever was an actual threat to Earth, and after he died he went to Hell and was met with Dr. Gero. And in Hell they had an orb that allowed them to see Earth and what was going on there. As when Goku was in Hell, he could watch the Super 17 fight. This means that Gero and Mew knew how strong Ozaru Baby was, how strong Super Saiyan 4 Goku was, and yet Mew still called Super 17 the ultimate machine mutant, which means that Super 17 is above Baby, stronger than Baby, and that this very early version of Super 17 is above a Super Saiyan 4. Super Saiyan 4, of course, from the past saga, from the Baby saga. But what is even more impressive for Super 17 is not the power scaling, it is actually the feats. This is where we get into the argument that the 17s are Universal Plus and that Super 17 is multiversal. As in Dragon Ball GT, Android 17 is powered by Hell itself. Hell is a universal-sized realm in the Dragon Ball macrocosm, and as stated, just by powering up, Android 17 and Hellfighter 17 merged the living world with the other world. They literally merged two universes together with just their power. This was not just a gate to Hell being open, read the subtitles. The power, resonated by both 17s, has caused this world and the next world to be stuck together, and made that world and the next world as one. There are many statements about this in the anime that reiterate this, but paired with the fact that the dead villains lose their halos after the universes merged, further shows that the living world did merge with the afterlife. And needless to mention that Shenlong confirmed that the two universes were merged together, and that was part of the reason for the birth of the Shadow Dragons. It's important to note that according to Versus Battle Wiki, which their tiering system is what pretty much everybody uses for power scaling, the low multiverse level is characters who can significantly affect, create, and or destroy small multiverses, which can be comprised of several separate space-time continuums ranging anywhere from 2 to 1,000 or equivalents, and significantly affect, they define that as, here, used as an umbrella term for feats that don't involve direct creation or destruction, but are comparable to them in power, such as warping and distorting the entirety of the structure in question, sustaining its own existence within one's own, and then merging the structure with another one. As I have already proved, the 17's power, just by powering up, they combined and merged two universes together. And this is insane because Super 17 is not just Android 17 plus Hellfighter 17. He is much more powerful than that. It's like a fusion. Fusion has been always shown in Dragon Ball to be more than just 1+1. As the both of them go from being stronger, but relative to base Trunks and base Vegeta, to far and way above their Super Saiyan forms, meaning that Super 17 is more than 50 times stronger than themselves individually, which would put Super 17 at low multiversal, since he would be over 50 times stronger than merging two universes together. But as I said, Super 17 gets way stronger from here on out, absorbing the power of Goku until he reaches his own Super Saiyan 4 levels. I have lowball calculated Super Saiyan 4 to be an 18 million times multiplier on top of base, which means that it would be a 360,000 multiplier on top of Super Saiyan, making him over 36 million times universal, and to the tier of multiversal, since he can affect over 1001 universes with all these additional multipliers. But it gets even crazier because Super 17 would absorb Super Saiyan 4 Goku's times 10 Kamehameha. As I mentioned in my Super Saiyan 4 video, the Kamehameha has varying degrees of power. We had it make Goku nearly 2.5 times stronger in the Saiyan Saga, and there's arguably far higher levels of Kamehameha, like when Goku did it against Perfect Cell. But times 10 Kamehameha is 10 times stronger than a regular Kamehameha, meaning that Super 17 absorbed the power of someone that was 25 times greater than Super Saiyan 4, whom he was already equal to, which puts him 26 times stronger. If he was already 36 million times universal, multiply that by 26 times, and Super 17 is nearly a billion times universal plus at 936 million. So yeah, Super 17 is a powerhouse who deserves respect, clearly not only twice as strong as Android 17 from the Android saga. Now next is speed. I'm going to essentially divvy this up into 3 possibilities. One is just basically me being admittedly lazy. When it comes to speed scaling, it gets incredibly insane for the anime of Dragon Ball, as Goku crosses a universal-sized realm in seconds when he travels the other world in his base form. This was stated to be quintillions times the speed of light, and this is just base Goku before the Buu Saga. Now imagine him much faster and Super Saiyan 4, and how that would compare to Super 17 Saga. Remember, his base far surpassed that of a hypothetical Super Saiyan 3 Vegito from the Buu Saga. The speed scaling really is ridiculous. at this point and would be redundant unless it actually was directly scaling Super 17 to an opponent in a versus battle. But you can also scale Super 17 to have infinite speed, as there is varying guidebooks that state that the universe is endless or infinite, and if it is, then either base Goku traveling an infinite distance and finite time makes him have infinite speed, or at the very least Super 17 being far stronger than the two beings who merged the universes together would be infinite speed for doing so. I'm not really too settled on the universe being infinite, as I might make a video on that and do further research in the meantime. I'm just including that as a possibility. There are numerous statements that it is infinite. Finally, this tier of speed that Super 17 really could possibly scale to is inaccessible speed, which if you don't know, is a whole tier of speed above infinite speed. As infinite speed is moving an infinite distance in finite time, inaccessible speed is moving any distance in no time. And I'm using this based on the fact that Meta Cooler moved faster than Goku's instant transmission. He literally grabbed him while in the middle of teleporting. Instant essentially means no time, so this means Cooler would have to be moving in no time or inaccessible speed. Now, people will often state that movies must take place outside of the anime and manga because of the statement from Toriyama, but keep in mind that this only mentions comic and not anime, and that is contradicted anyways by the fact that the anime continuity brings in the Dead Zone movie into its canon from the Garlic Jr. saga, even mentioning and showing flashbacks that the Dead Zone movie happened. Now in GT, they show Cooler as one of the villains in Hell, and 17 even says that villains that you killed are coming to kill you and get revenge, and again, Cooler is one of these villains. Now you can bring up that there are essentially one very minor continuity errors in each of these Cooler films if you connect them to the anime, but they are very minor. Like Gohan having a different haircut from what he should have in both films. It's really very minor differences when you look at it, especially since when it comes to continuity and consistency in Dragon Ball, it never really mattered that much. Dead Zone literally contradicts the Saiyan saga, as they knew Gohan in Dead Zone, but then were shocked that Goku had a kid in the Saiyan saga, but the anime still canonized that movie to the anime's continuity. Which, by that logic, anything that shows a connection to the movies in the anime, and if that movie can mostly fit in the anime continuity, then it should be a part of it. In GT, Goku killed Cooler, and Cooler is shown. GT even doubles down on the Garlic Jr. saga, as they use the sacred holy water to negate baby's possession, just like they used to negate demon possession in the Garlic Jr. saga. GT even harkens back to characters moving faster than instantaneously, as baby's revenge death ball knocked Goku out of Kibito Kai's hands mid-teleportation and took him to a different realm. So yeah, at the very least, Super 17 is many decillions of times faster than light, and it would just be redundant to calculate that. Possibly infinite speed. I think it's actually probable that you can have them at inaccessible speed. So if you want to complain about the movies not being a part of the anime, even though they literally made Dead Zone a part of it, believe whatever you want, but I'm just putting multiple scales out there for his speed. So one thing it is important to note that we have not seen any true limit of what power Super 17 can absorb, as he has absorbed the powers of people that are way stronger than him, like how he went from absorbing Super Saiyan 1 Goku's attacks to Super Saiyan 4 Goku's attacks. He went from absorbing Super Saiyan 4 attacks to a times 10 Kamehameha. So he can absorb energy attacks that are at least 25 times stronger than him to the most we have seen, which is 360,000 times stronger than him. So I'm not going to put a no limits fallacy in saying that any energy attack he would just absorb, but he has shown that if you are 25 to 360,000 times stronger than him, he can still absorb that energy to make himself stronger. Now he does have a weakness, but that is weak to physical attacks while he is absorbing the energy, as it took 18 spamming energy attacks on Super 17 to make him vulnerable to physical attacks, so Goku could use his Dragon Fist and end up piercing his chest and taking the W. So unless if your energy attacks are many times stronger than Super 17, like hundreds of thousands of times, or have a multiversal physical attack that you can land while he is absorbing energy, it's going to be hard for you to get the W on this android. Now, another thing I want to add here is that this is a consistent thing in GT, being universal or multiversal. This is because, right in the same saga, base Goku shakes the afterlife, which is a universal-sized realm, not an infinite-sized realm. And this was him just powering up on accident doing this. Now, I know that shaking something is not the equivalent of destroying it, but remember, this is him violently shaking a universal or infinite-sized realm, and this is him doing on accident. He says he did this on accident, and it's just him powering up. Now, if you just go by the logic of, if you could just stand outside of a house, and you just flexed your muscles, and the air pressure from flexing your muscles shook the house violently, that by that logic, if you punched the house, or if you shot a ki blast at the house, you would destroy it. This is also impressive because in GT, we saw that there are multiple layers or realms within Hell, which means that Hell itself is possibly the size of multiple universes or multiple infinities. And this is further consistent with Omega Shenron, as he is above Black Smoke Shenron, and Black Smoke Shenron was stated to be able to destroy the universe, and this is something that a lot of people are contentious with Omega Shenron, that he is not universal because, quote-unquote, he was going to only destroy the universe or the macrocosm over time. But this is what a lot of people really take out of context, is that him passively existing, just existing, is going to destroy the entire macrocosm in a very quick amount of time. But remember, it's so quick that Kibito Kai wants to leave the realm of the Kais. That's how quick it is. And remember, that's just him existing. His punches or ki blasts would be way above that. So that's why this would not be inconsistent within the verse, because base Goku is shaking universal size realms just by powering up. And then you have Omega Shenron, who is above Black Smoke Shenron, who is stated to be universal, and Omega Shenron can destroy the macrocosm very quickly to the point where the Kais want to run away from it, and that's just him existing. So his attacks or ki blasts would scale way above that. So Super 17 should be multiversal, and Omega Shenron would just scale above him. But anyways, guys, that's it for the video. Let me know your thoughts down below. So Super 17 is multiversal, many times faster than the speed of light, possibly inaccessible speed, and can absorb energy to a very, very high degree. Hope you guys enjoyed. Please leave a like and comment if you did. Subscribe, turn notifications. Hope you guys all have an amazing day. Peace out.